Hi friends. If you saw one of my recent videos, I talked about this gift that was one of my gifts for Christmas. And I like to write that in there from Jordan and Alicia. And what it is it is a like subscription that comes in the mail. Once a month, you get 4 of these. There's a recipe and then the appropriate spice that goes with it. And they're like unusual for me anyway, kind of from all over the world. This is pack 1. I have that mark, can you see? And in here, there's Persian lime, poached cod, all the same theme, you know, saffron and rose rice pudding. But see, usually if you go to make a recipe like this, you don't want to buy a lot of saffron. For instance, that's the perfect one to demo, right? Because it's so dear, so expensive. Each one of these little shreds, if you will, is from the flower. You know how there's the, are they called stamen? I can't remember what they're called. It's probably written on the back here. Let's see if it is. I don't want to take too much time. But anyway, I have a whole lot of them. And I got this little booklet to keep them because the cards are large. Where's my card? Oh, here it is. Okay, see, it's kind of larger than my 4x6s that I usually use. But today I'm going to make turkey lentil soup. I do have red lentils. So that's why I'm going to say, oh, I'll make this one. And the rest of the stuff isn't that unusual. I kind of had pretty much everything. And so I recently bought the jalapeno. I'm not supposed to use this exactly, but I'll go into that in a minute. But let me show you. Can you see here? Yeah, you can. Yay! This is the spice that will go with it, and we'll talk more about that. I'm not going to let you have you watch me do all of this, but the ingredients are such. Olive oil. It calls for chicken, ground chicken, but I can only find the ground turkey. So we're using that. There's salt, an onion, some celery, a little bit of celery, couple carrots. Wait, I gotta show you this. Yeah. Okay. See my carrot? Does not look perfect, does it? Because it has all these little things growing out of it. Am I gonna use it? Yeah, you betcha. All I'm gonna do is cut that off, and I'm gonna show you something. Wait, I'll show you in 1 second. So there's fresh garlic, or you can use jar. This is frozen solid. I had this hand of ginger, fresh ginger in my freezer, and I'll put it right back there. I'll just use a little bit. It calls for some kind of pepper, a green chili, like jalapeno or serrano. I love serrano peppers, by the way. So I have a pack of these. They were like 89 cents for the whole pack, and I could stuff them with a little cream cheese and fun stuff. Have them for dinner another time. Red lentils, some broth, and that's it for it. Pit. Plus this spice, but I gotta show you something. Where is it? Okay. My carrot that looks yucky and a lot of people would throw out. I put them in a glass of water. I want you to see this. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. Look at that. You see what's happening? I can plant this little baby in a regular pot. I could plant it in with one of my other plants just for fun. Stick it down in the dirt and see what happens. I don't know. Call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I think that that's fantastic. I do it with a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to chop all this up. I'm going to get me a pot, and we're going to be cooking. Fancy cooking today. Okay, ground turkey with a little bit of olive oil until it's brown, and I take it out. All the moisture is gone too. And then a little bit more oil because we're going to put the mirepoix in. That's just the carrots, onion, celery. We're going to cook those in there for maybe 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to, just, don't overcook it. Just like 5 minutes on medium. Then I'm going to put in chopped garlic and minced ginger. Don't worry, I get all the little goodies out of my each pot. Just until I can smell these, I'd say about 2 minutes at best. You just want to stir it around. You'll start to smell that garlic for sure. And this is funny. I didn't have a couple Roma tomatoes, but hey, that's about the size of Roma tomatoes. And because they're real meaty, I squished out the middles. Here's my 1 cup of lentils. I had them soaking and washing them, and then I'm going to drain them, and that's what we'll use. Again, I'll get all that out of the bottom. No worries. Okay, so set those aside too. Keep them, out of the moisture. We're going to add in 1 chopped jalapeno. Don't worry, we are going to blend this at the end, so you're not going to get a big bite of jalapeno. And my little cherry tomatoes instead of the Romas. So we're going to need some moisture. This calls for 4 cups of chicken stock. Usually I just use about half and half water, but I'm going to be a good girl and listen to the recipe. So 4 cups is 1 of these containers exactly. Okay, so let me get that stirred around. And at this point, we're going to start adding things back in, meaning, that packet that came with this recipe. Here it is. It has lots of good things, but different things like cinnamon and mace, cayenne, cloves, ginger, coriander, and the like. So get all of that in there. I'm not going to, don't waste any of it. Get that all in. I make it the right way the first time at least. Okay, and if I like it, I'm going to buy this spice again and go from there. Now we'll have to add the lentils back in too, but I can't forget, where's my lid? Because I am going to need a lid to cook the lentils. We'll put in the ground turkey a little bit later. It smells good. So there's my lid. I'm going to get my red lentils. They're just drained, not cooked yet. Lentils are great because you don't have to soak them overnight like some beans, some legumes you do. So they cook in about 20 minutes. Let's get that lid back on there though. I didn't like how meaty my ground turkey was, so I'm going to chop up the rest of this too. Just mince it up a little bit further. So about 22 minutes later, don't worry, we won't have little bits of the tomato. Like I said, I'm going to blend it up. But I got to taste and make sure these lentils are tender. It's just like rice. If you've never tasted lentils before, just so that they're not hard in the center. Okay? So they're good. They're really good. And I also have green lentils, but this recipe called for the red. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use your regular blender, but I would cool the soup first. And you can put this right in super hot foods and gravies, but don't bring it back up while it's spinning or you'll get a bath. Oh my, I have no idea why it sounds like it does. Maybe mine's going bad. I'll have to go to another estate sale or buy another one online. But you just make this as blended as you like. You can puree the whole thing, but I don't want it. I want it to have a little bit of toothiness. And so I'm just doing it real gentle, squishing up the tomatoes best I can. But I like a little bit of, not firmness. Then we're going to get the ground turkey back in. It's already cooked fully. It'll just need to heat back up. And we'll stir that in. Seemed like a lot to do, but kind of you have everything on hand mostly. You might just have to buy 1 or 2 items at the store. And now I'm going to taste it and see if it needs a little bit more salt. The recipe said it might need more salt. It's hot. And I give it a thumbs up. I like it. And yes, it needs more salt. So there you have it. And I'll post the recipe card in the albums on our site.